Hey everyone, welcome back to CrossTalk podcast. I'm Tomoya.
Hey, I'm Andrea.
Today we are doing a fun year-end topic.
All right.
The word that summed up 2025.
Right. So I think each dictionary company has their own, they choose their own like word of the year.
Right. There are two popular ones. One is rage bait.
Yeah. That's
And
Oxford, I think. Yeah.
Slop
Yeah.
is another one.
Right.
And I saw this slop everywhere on the social media.
Right. I did too, especially recently.
Yes.
AI slop is actually the term, right?
Right. So maybe some of our listener thinks, oh, what is this word?
Right.
And then don't worry, we'll explain that later.
Okay.
But first, I want to ask you, Andres-san, if you had to describe 2025 in one word, what would it be?
2025 in one word? Oh, that's a really hard question. I would say overwork.
Overwork.
For me personally.
I think many people related to that.
Yeah, and actually the new Prime Minister of Japan, Ms. Takaichi, used that word too, like hataraku, yoku hataraku, or something like that, right? Which meant like she and her cabinet were planning to overwork, like work really hard for the people. But I feel like as people, like we're considered kind of freelancers, I guess. Like we always have to hustle. We always have to overwork and just to get enough business to get by. We're not making like loads of money, right? We're not rich. But we're always hatarakuin normally, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's my personal word for the year is overwork. Yeah. How about you? Do you have a personal word of the year?
Personal word of the year. It's start.
Start?
Start. Yeah. Early this year, we started getting some comments on our podcast.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, which is really nice. And we have done sponsored content.
That's true. Yeah, we had our first sponsored content this year, so that's a great start, actually, for that.
I feel like something is starting.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting, even though it's end of the year. Yeah.
Right.
So hopefully those things will kind of continue into the next year, right?
Right. That's my hope.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I asked this question to Andrea-san because in Japan, there's a famous tradition called Kanji of the Year.
Ah, yes.
So we choose one single kanji to describe entire year.
Yes, that's right.
And this year's kanji is bear.
Right.
Kuma.
Kuma, right. I saw that. The photograph that I saw in the newspaper was really nice.
My first impression was, why bear?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's usually something negative. For example, a war.
Oh, okay.
Or disaster or something.
Okay. Yeah, there's one year when there was like a economic crisis or something, and there was something to do with that. Yeah. But bear is kind of negative.
Is it?
Well, I mean, because bears are living creatures, they're not negative in and of themselves, but just because there have been so many bear attacks in Japan especially, but also in other countries, like in Europe and also like Alaska and Canada, there have been, in America too, there have been more bear sightings and more bear attacks this year than usual. Yeah.
It's very interesting, and yeah, we heard this bear news almost every day.
Yeah, it's still ongoing actually.
Yes.
So usually, bears hibernate in the winter, like tominzuru. But this year, even though it's snowing, like in Hokkaido and northern Japan, the bears are not hibernating yet.
What?
They're still out looking for food, and they've been chasing people on ski resorts.
Oh my God. So they haven't got enough food.
Probably not.
I see.
Yeah.
These news are actually kind of related to one of my friends. He's doing hunting as his job.
That's right. Yeah.
And he said sometimes the bear was caught in his traps.
Oh, wow.
And then he showed me some videos, and it's kind of scary.
Yeah, that would be scary.
So he said, well, this is daily stuff. So
Oh, my goodness.
It's nothing special.
It's for us, it's something special.
Right. Yeah.
There are no bears where I live, so it's very much something special.
It's scary.
It is scary, yeah. It is scary. Especially trapped animals. When they're trapped, they get very violent because they're trying to get free. And they can be very, very dangerous.
Right.
So I hope your friend is careful.
I hope so too. Okay, move on to the 2 word of the year from these dictionary website.
Okay.
So the first one, rage bait.
Okay.
Can you explain what it is, Andrea-san?
Yeah, so basically rage bait is content that has been created on purpose to get the users angry. And so we've seen this a lot this year because of like political things that are happening in the world, specifically within Japan, within America, and then sometimes international news also. So an example of rage bait would be, I'm foreign, I'm American, everyone knows this. And in my case, I have permanent residency. But for foreigners in Japan who don't have permanent residency, for example, if they're in Japan on a work visa or a spouse visa, the Japanese government is thinking of raising the price a lot. So to get a new visa, to renew a visa, or to change visa types, right now the cost is about 6,000 yen, and they're going to raise that up to, how much did they say? For permanent residency, they want to raise it up to 10,000 yen.
Okay.
So that would be 100,000 yen. Up from 6,000 yen, right? So that's a pretty big increase in price. But nothing has been decided yet. And honestly, it won't affect most people who are already in the country if you have a proper visa right now. You know, but people are getting excited and debating about it online. So some newspapers have created a lot of, not really fake news, but news where it's exaggerated. The negative points are exaggerated to make people get angry on purpose about, for example, the rising visa cost.
Okay, so these news media get views and click.
That's right.
And then they can make more money.
Right. So that's the point, is for the site or the post to try to get more engagement, right? They want people to start debating or commenting or clicking like or the angry face or whatever to get more engagement, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's what rage bait is for and what it does.
Right.
It gets people angry, but it gets the content to be more popular in people's feeds.
Right. I see many clickbaity titles, thumbnail, that makes people get angry.
Yeah, that would be rage bait.
Yeah. So I understand why those people click those contents.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So bait means essa, right? So basically the title would be like trying to get people to bite, right? Trying to entice people to click or to get upset about something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are very eye-catchy.
Yes.
Even before watching this content, I sometimes feel like disagreement on this content.
Right. Just from the title alone.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know a few of users don't even click those contents, but they have those disagreements and, people spread the negative word feeling to the other social media.
Right.
Which is kind of bad because it's making some bad negative spiral.
Yeah, it does. It really does make a negative spiral. So we mentioned a minute ago, like one of the goals, or I guess one of the reasons for rage bait is to get engagement, and that helps the creators make more money. Mm-hmm. But also there could be like another motive. For example, this year I've been reading a lot of political news like Japanese political news. And like there are some legitimate sites on Facebook or online, for example, like Japan News or Japan Times. They all have English newspapers. One that I found recently that keeps popping up on my page is called Japan Daily. And it always posts rage bait. It always has like controversial topics and articles that are kind of exaggerated. But then when I investigated, that page is actually managed by a Chinese company. So as we know, like right now, China is angry at Japan. China doesn't like Japan, the government, right? The conservative government doesn't like the new government in Japan. And so there's a different motive, right? That's not money. There's a motive of trying to get people to dislike Japan or to turn away from Japan. So when I found that out, okay, this is a Chinese managed media company and they have a different motive, then like you need to be careful like what you read.
Okay.
Right? You don't want to read fake news or wrong information that always has a negative tint to it.
So I want to ask one more question. Besides political content, what kind of topics or contents make you angry?
Personally, like if I see people mistreating dogs and cats or abusing animals, that makes me angry. And I try not to watch those because it just makes me very upset. I don't get angry, but like another rage baity, I guess, genre of posts would be that's kind of popular is cooking. When people spend a long time cooking something and they're showing you what they're making, but then the product ends up being like really junk foody or like just complete crap, I hate to say, but there's a lot of people that do that on purpose, like weird cooking, and especially that is actually American people using a lot of processed food or junk food to make something, and then they end up making just different kind of junk food. So it's kind of useless, but that's considered rage bait because it gets people angry. But the point of that is, to get engagement, to get people to look at your videos, your content.
Yeah. Usually those kind of content doesn't have much meaning.
No, it doesn't. It's not a deeper meaning. It's just stupid. It's just junk.
Yeah, just
junk content.
It counting up people's watch times.
Yes, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So then when I kind of have seen those sometimes on Facebook, and I look at the comments below, and many people say like, "Oh, I want my 5 minutes back. Give me my time back," or "This is crap. Why did I waste my time watching this?" But okay, that's rage bait then, right?
Right.
You get all these negative comments.
Yeah, those people get trapped.
Yes, exactly. So those are kind of some common types of rage bait that I see, like mostly politics, animal abuse, junky cooking, bad cooking videos. Have you noticed any other kinds?
Not really, though.
Okay.
I think I agree with you. Those kind of contents with some animal abuse, probably I will be really upset.
Yeah.
And animal neglect.
Yeah. Neglect. Yeah.
Neglect, yeah. Okay, so let's move on to another word of the year.
Okay.
This is slop.
Yeah, AI slop, right?
AI slop.
AI slop, yeah. I've seen this a lot recently.
Yes. Could you explain the meaning of slop first?
Sure. So AI slop is basically content that is created by AI, some kind of AI system that is low quality. And so we've seen a lot of this actually on social media recently because who made Sora?
OpenAI. The company made ChatGPT.
Okay, so they've made a new platform or a new app called Sora, which actually Tomoya introduced me to, and it's really fun. But basically, it's just for fun. I don't really care. Yeah, but it's basically fun. You make your own profile and you make your own like photo or whatever, and then you can make characters. So what we've done is we've made characters of our own pets. Right. And then you can choose what characters you want to use to make a little short video. And then you make a scenario. For example, you can type in a prompt like make A-san and B-san talking about the next PTA meeting in the middle of the gym, you know, something like this. It's just stupid. And then the app will make that video for you. And how long are the videos? They're just a few seconds long, right?
10 seconds.
10 seconds, yeah. So really, really short videos. Using whatever characters you want to. And it's just fun. But like seeing what people are doing, most people are using their own pets. They're making pet videos, cute pet videos, some other things too, like just ridiculous scenarios that would never happen in real life.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You know, I made a bunch of dog video.
Me too.
And
dog and cat videos.
Dog and cats, yes. So, like, for example, the video, my dogs are skiing in a small mountain.
Okay.
It wouldn't happen in a real life.
Sure.
But
sure. It's fun.
Really
right?
fun
it's
to
just
watch
cute
it.
and fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's stuff like that, like dog skiing, or like I made my cat into a ninja.
Oh, yes.
One, you can change the scenario, like make this cat a ninja at Nijojo Castle in Kyoto.
Yeah.
And then, okay, that was nice. Okay, make this cat a ninja at Nanzenji, you know, whatever. And then it changes the scenario a little bit. It's very fun.
Right.
It's just fun.
I made this one really early on. Mm-hmm. One of my smaller dog dragging me on the way. Mm-hmm. And then I get really muddy, and then I was like screaming, "Oh, help me!" Something, you know. It's really funny.
Yeah, it is funny because it would never happen in real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Your dog isn't that big. Yeah.
No.
But I think this is the point. Is like, yes, it's AI generated. Yes, it's low quality. Therefore, this stuff counts as AI slop.
Right.
But people get angry about this when they can't tell the difference. When something looks real, but it's AI generated, then people get angry if they can't tell whether if it's too realistic.
I can tell most of the video are AI generated.
Yeah.
But a few of them are really, really real.
Yeah, they look realistic.
Yes. Right? And especially if you are a professional video editor, you could probably patch up those clips and then make it much more realistic.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. I saw an example of this, for example, of someone not being able to tell if it was AI slop or real. For example, I have a pointer dog, and I joined a couple of pages on Facebook that are dedicated to pointers. Someone, not me, put a photo of a dog at Thanksgiving in the kitchen, and the dog was standing next to some kind of cooking, like a machine that makes your turkey. Usually we use that machine outdoors because it's dangerous to use indoors. It's like a pressure cooker, fire pit thing. I don't know. So a lot of people were commenting under the photo like, oh my God, don't do that in the house. That's dangerous. That thing is going to explode. And oh, don't let your dog sit next to that machine. It's too dangerous. Lots of people were commenting on the scenario. And then someone commented, this is AI. Don't get upset. This is AI. This is not a real photo. But it looked so realistic that people were getting very, very upset. So there is, we're kind of at the point where AI can do very, very realistic things.
Right. Yeah. So there's one really strong concern when it comes to AI content. For example, when a disaster happened, people could make these films where they took a video to this disaster happened.
Oh, right.
This is a serious concern among AI professional researchers,
Yeah, wow. I think that could be a huge concern. Actually, there was kind of an example of that. We mentioned bear at the beginning of the episode, and there was one AI image, I forgot which city, somewhere in Tohoku. Someone had made an image of a bear walking at night in the street that was shown on the news. Do you remember this?
No.
One of the towns that is experiencing bear attacks and lots of bear sightings, the city government used an image of a bear walking in the street at night in the town to show, okay, this is like bears are in the city. Let's be careful. And it caused the citizens to freak out and panic. But actually, the photograph was AI generated. It was not a real photo. And so the city was really embarrassed. And they had to apologize to everyone, especially the citizens, for causing panic in the city from using a non-real AI generated photo, right? So this kind of stuff is starting to happen where we can't really tell the difference between real and AI generated. And it's starting to cause some problems.
Yes. Companies and some organizations are talking about how to distinguish this AI content and real one. And then they would think of I think they started making a label.
Oh, okay.
It's automatically attached to these contents. So it's already happening.
Okay.
And then probably you wouldn't notice. But when you check this content detail, there's probably a label that says this is AI generated.
Okay. I've seen that AI generated label on Instagram, maybe. If you have AI generated content, they want you to tap that button that says this is AI generated. And then I don't know how it looks on the screen because I haven't made anything AI on Instagram yet. But it probably shows up somehow. Yeah.
One good thing about Sora platform, there's only AI generated content here.
Yes. That's true.
So all of these videos are fake.
Right.
You know?
So there's no confusion. Right. It's all fake. It's just for fun.
Yes. And I made a video of my dog attacking boars.
Yeah, it looked pretty realistic, actually.
Right,
I mean, not completely, but it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty good for AI.
Yeah.
It's that level.
Right. It wouldn't happen, but it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it looks realistic. We know it's not real, but it looked quite realistic.
Yeah. So this is the one way to avoid confusion.
Just label it and just stay on those platforms. Like
right.
Yeah, like if you're using Sora, don't put a Sora video on Facebook or Line or something, right? Because then it gets confusing.
Yeah. But right now it's difficult to see which one is which.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So Andrea-san, do you think these AI contents are too much? Do you want more authentic content?
I mean, honestly, I don't mind AI generated content as long as it's labeled. I think it should be labeled.
Yes.
I think labeling is a must if you're going to put AI content on like a variety of platforms. But like as just for fun or for art, that I think it's fine to have. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind seeing more of it. That's fine.
Yes.
But it just needs to be like when you're posting on sites where there's a variety of sources like X or Instagram. Instagram is mostly photos and videos, but like Facebook, you're posting either your personal posts or photos or videos, you can post anything on there. Then it needs to be clearly marked as AI, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't mind. How about you?
I have a very similar answer to yours.
Okay.
We could technically make AI generated content without using Sora platform.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
true.
But if I made an AI generated podcast episode, it wouldn't be perfect.
Right. You'd probably be able to tell, oh, this is a little bit different than usual or a little bit off. Yeah, you could, the listeners could probably tell right away.
And then people probably could tell, ooh, these guys started using AI. And then we will start losing a authenticity.
Yeah.
Right?
Authenticity would be out the window. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but we have no plan to start using AI for this podcast.
Yeah.
But I will tell you guys if I decided to use it.
Or maybe not. Maybe you would do it like an experiment. For example, make an AI episode and see who could tell and who can't tell.
Right.
You could do a poll,
or,
make it fun, make it into like a game.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Or I could make another podcast. Upload AI generated contents only.
Okay.
Just as an experiment.
Okay, yeah, like to keep it separate. Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yes. All right, so we hope you enjoyed this episode. Did you know these the word of the year?
Right. I think they've just been announced recently. So hopefully some people have heard of these.
Right.
Just again, they were Rage Bait and AI Slop.
And of course, we are always looking for new episode ideas. What would you like us to talk about next?
Okay, just a quick reminder, guys. As you know, we are doing live streaming every Thursday evening, usually at 6 p.m. Japan Standard Time. If you are interested in joining us live, please check us out on YouTube. We'll be happy to answer any questions and take any comments in real time.
All right, that's all for this episode, but don't forget to catch our next one.
All right, this is CrossTalk signing off, bringing you English your way every week.
Keep listening and keep shining. Bye.
Bye.